Virtual environment can be a great tool for education. It creates the environment when you can test, experiment, when you can try and make mistakes with no real consequences. That creates the super extra situation for learning, for innovativeness, and for looking for improvements. In virtual reality, you can make the decisions without the real consequences. That open the space for training, for testing, and for learning. It also allows you to experience the environments and the situations you can't meet in real life. Thanks to virtual environment, you can experience the situations and the circumstances that are not available in reality because they are very far away or too dangerous to be them in real. VR can also help to organize the distance learning process. For example, it can make the participants feel less isolated to each other and much more connected. That's the great benefit for this kind of education. With students from Gdańska University of Technology Executive MBA program, we visit the lab that serves 3D immersive visualization. In the cave, they can experience VR technology in different kind of situation. We also ask them about possible applications of VR technology in their business practice. And what's quite surprising, most of the examples they share are educational ones. They see the possibilities to use VR in training, in HR processes like adaptation of new employees. So also in business, the educational aspects are very strong. I can think about two main challenges connected with the usage of VR in education. The first one is the content. To prepare the good session, including VR in education, you need to have an idea, you need to be used to use it as a tool, and you need to have something that can be shared with that technology. The second challenge is cost. Because of course you need to organize at least the tools for your students to participate in such session. You need to have the environment when the experiencing VR is possible. That still costs quite a lot. There are many examples how we can use VR in business education. The one I like the most is using it while serving students the educational games that include VR. So for example, a part of the business game is conducted in the real life. The part of such game is played in reality and the other part is conducting thanks to VR technology. The VR also gives to business students the space when they can make the decisions based on the environment and all the circumstances created thanks to VR technology. That opens also the possibility for them to experiment, to test the possible consequences of their business decisions without the real, for example, financial consequences. There is one main difference between VR and augmented reality. Augmented reality connects those two ones in one. So partially the students behave and are engaged in some cases in real situations, and VR create a part of that reality. So I must say that I was really impressed when I had the possibility to experience how the VR can be used against the fear of height. I had the chance to be the person experience that feeling, and that was the tool used by psychologists as the therapy to support people who have such kind of disability. That's quite funny because many of our students is really familiar with this kind of technology. So for them it doesn't need to be something very new, but definitely it's something very new in educational processes. What's the benefit of that is that if we want to attract them, if you want to engage them, the technology is called immersive technology, which in that name, what is included in that name, it's the suggestion that it motivates students for active participation. Last time I saw the class delivered online, and thanks to VR, the students played the roles of avatars. They had the chance to choose the avatars for them. Those avatars were sitting in the classroom. The teacher was also the avatar, speaking to them. Is that the future of VR in education? I'm not sure for that. But maybe that's the one way it can be developed. I think we need to be very open for new technologies in general, but especially for VR in education, because that can create the space for us to meet our students in the environment which is very well known for them. So what are the three main advantages for teachers from using VR technology in education? First, I would say students' engagement, being attractive for them. The second one, possibility to share with students the situations, the places which are not available in reality. And the third one, to create a space that let them the chance to experiment, to search for something new, but without the real consequences. VR is just a tool, so we need to remember, we as teachers, but also we should take care about our students, to avoid the situation when the tool is more important than the content. So if you want to use the VR in your teaching processes, first think about the goal. Why do you need it? Why it is necessary to add it to your teaching methods. The second, think about the content you can implement into the VR session and collaborate with people who are able to prepare it on the level that can satisfy your students. So collaborate with professionals who can support you to prepare such a session. So, before we as teachers become just avatars, be brave and try VR in education. That can open the new doors for your students, but also for you as a teacher.